Hi everyone, my name is Tristin Harris and I am the Associate Student Services Director for the American Collegiate Program at American University. And today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our program, specifically to talk about our program overview, to talk a little bit about American University. I'm also going to touch on what are some of the student services we provide to make sure that our students have a successful experience. I'm going to specifically talk about our transfer advising and then talk a little bit about the results we've had as a result of the program. So our program is the American Collegiate Program at American University, and this is a program that is built for inspirational, aspirational, international students. The idea is that you get an opportunity to start at a world-class university, that being American University, and through that experience, you'll be able to acclimate to life in the United States and really get a sense of what it's like to be in the university culture at American University, but US academic culture in general. You'll also have this experience to help you to transfer to another university confidently. And so we support our students with a really academically rigorous environment, which includes holistic support and advising. We also focused on providing our students with customized and targeted transfer advising, in addition to giving them really vibrant community engagement opportunities so that our students have also college application support from beginning to completely to the end. So one of the things we like to talk about often is American University itself as a backdrop for your education. American University was chartered by an act of Congress, and it really is a university that you go to if you want to save the world. The students are completely passionate and really engaged. From day one, they're interning, they're studying abroad, they're bringing their perspective to the classroom. And this is really going to be a great environment for you to start your education in. The university also has Washington, D.C. as a backdrop. So you have the idea of being able to walk out of your classroom and then walk into the halls of Congress and intern. You have the idea that walking down the street next to you is a presidential candidate like Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden or the president himself, Donald Trump. You have the opportunity to visit embassies, to go to events and festivals and activities, not only in the city, but the university itself also has over 200 student-led organizations. And one of the great things about our program is our students are part of that leadership, creating and crafting opportunities for students to come together so that their experience is enriched. And so American University really serves as a really great laboratory for learning, both inside the classroom, but also in your outside of the classroom experience. So just to talk a little bit about our program and how we support students, one of those things is the academic advising. And so the academic advising ranges from helping you to select your courses, really flushing out what your major is, or maybe connecting you to resources to help support your academic experience. We also include writing workshops, math laboratories, and supplemental instructors. And the supplemental instructor is just a way for you to attend a course and have someone in the course that has maybe had an A in the course or is an expert in the field really break the material down for you so that you are able to be successful in completing your task and completing your homework and also being really successful in your exams. We also provide SAT tutoring, ACT tutoring, and language proficiency test tutoring. And this is a part of our academic experience because as you decide that you want to transfer to another university, being able to be successful in the SAT, ACT, and TOEFL or IELTS will really not only enrich your experience for your current classes, but will really help you in your transfer applications. In terms of our transfer advising, we also have U.S. News and World Report Global Education Certified Advisors. This is a fancy way of saying that our advisors really know the schools. They've done the research, they've worked with students, and they really have a good sense of what are the good universities for specific fields, what are the requirements for each of the universities, and what is going to be a good fit based on your major. We also have a customized application management system, so we can keep all of this together because there's so many components that come with completing a transfer application. We want to make sure that you have your own individual management system so that you and your advisor can have all of the information in one place and be able to go through and set your application deadlines, make sure that you have all of your required documents, make sure sure we know what your target is for your TOEFL or your IELTS. So you'll have that one individual application management system along with your individual advisor. And then one of the biggest things we do with transfer advising is really making sure that we get the major correct. We do a major matching assessment for you to make sure that you are not only picking the right major, but you're selecting the university based on that major and that it's going to be a good fit for your personality. So we want to know, what are your skills? What are your passions? What is your personality like, so that we pick the right thing for you and you get to explore all the different options for yourself. This process is not easy. We often tell students, if you're going to invest in your education, you need to give it your all. And so this is a rigorous process, particularly the transfer advising piece. So in addition to doing your academics, you're going to be going through what we call our transfer advising map that is going to help you to follow the steps that you need to take in order to be successful in your transfer applications. This includes, firstly, identifying and researching. Identifying and researching schools, and we often encourage students to do 5 to 10 applications, but really starting to look at some potential places that could be a good fit for you. After we find maybe 5 to 10 schools, we'll start that customized application tracker for you, and we'll start to review each of those specific schools that you're looking at. Then it's really important for you to start to connect and assess your process by connecting with admissions officers, visiting campuses, really starting to talk with students and faculty members at the universities. And this is probably our funnest phase of the transfer advising map. The part of this is like really physically going to campuses, getting to explore different campus types. One of the things we do with our students is something called the Georgian experience. So in Washington, D.C., we have really great schools. 3 of them all start with the name George. George Mason, George Washington, and Georgetown. And so we take our students to all 3 of these campuses because they're very different campuses. So if you're looking for a really traditional, big, rah-rah experience, a campus like George Mason might be a good fit for you. If you're looking for a more quiet, gated, suburban experience, Georgetown might be a good fit. And if you're looking for what we call college without borders, George Washington might be a good fit. But just knowing which campus type is going to be a good fit for you is one of the ways that we call our students to connect and assess. We also offer what's called a Explore grant, where students can take a grant from our team and go and explore a university outside of the Washington area. So we use this to send students to Chicago, to Los Angeles, to Boston, to New York, so that you can get a real good sense of if this school is going to be a good fit for me. We recently had 2 students come from Kazakhstan and China, and we were able to send them to explore University of Illinois, Chicago, Northwestern University, and University of Chicago. And their experience was magical and led to them deciding they definitely wanted to apply to schools in that area, because stepping on the campus is something we want every student to experience to make sure that they're finding the best fit. So after doing all of that research, after connecting with those schools, after visiting and finding out I loved it or I hated it and changing what your schools will be, we'll work with each student to create a personalized timeline so that you can complete your applications. This includes making sure we understood what time frame you're taking your SAT. It also includes making sure that you have indicated what the deadlines are for your applications, but then also making sure that you know which application and which order you're going to complete first, so that we can then also request your supplemental documents. These are things like your high school transcripts. These are things like your current transcripts from American University. We'll also request your recommendations from your professors, because you want to make sure that you have someone who can vouch that you are going to be academically proficient, consistent, and you have academic potential. And then we'll also do any other documents the university might need. That might be resumes, that could be something like a portfolio if you're applying to an art school. So we'll help you to pick out the best pictures and your best videos and your best photography to make sure that you're able to submit all of your documents on time. So we've done all of the work of researching. We've done all of the work of getting you on the campus. We've done all of the work of completing the applications. We're finished? No. You definitely have more things that you need to do. We want to make sure that you understand what that transition from one university to the next university will be. So we have a collegiate completion workshop for when you complete the program, what are the things that you need to do? If you get into Harvard, Brown, Rice, Stanford, and Yale, which school do you go to? We want to make sure that you have a good sense of which school is going to be the best fit for you. We also want to make sure you understand how to transfer your immigration record from school to school. We also want to make sure that you know to sign up for orientation, how to find housing in your new city, how to connect with your new advisor at your new campus. And so we'll have this workshop that helps you to understand all of those things. And every time you come to that workshop, we make sure you leave with a completion checklist so that as you're going through the process of completing your transition to your new university, you're able to check off all of the different steps you need to take. And don't worry, you won't lose access to your advisor at American Collegiate. We'll still be here for you until you get your new advisor. And in some cases, still after, as students still come back, they still want to meet with us, they still want to talk with us because we formed really good relationships with them. How do we bring all of this together? One of the things that we do is we really work to make sure our students have really good relationships with admissions teams and also have really great community engagement opportunities. We have something we call National Transfer Week in America, where we've connected students with admissions teams from Fordham University, Washington University, Boston College, Notre Dame, University of Maryland, and more. We want to make sure that you are connected to those schools, and we want to make sure that you have opportunities to talk with folks from all over the country for the schools that you want to go to. We also really encourage our students to take advantage of the Explore grant. One of the ways that we encourage that is we've crafted very specific experiences. So if you want to go to an Ivy League school, for example, we have something called the Ivy Key, where a student can do the Explore grant in a very specific formatted excursion where they'll go to visit UPenn and Princeton University, which are in the same area. But not only are you going to visit UPenn and Princeton, we want to make sure that you have an exciting time in the city because this could be the potential city that you could live in. So we do an excursion in an iconic location in Philadelphia. And then we also make sure that you have something we all like to enjoy in Washington, D.C., which is a Sunday fun day brunch. So every student, no matter whether you do our exploration in the Ivy Key, or if you do the Welcome to New York, or if you do the Atlanta experience and you experience the Southern charm of Emory University and Georgia Tech, we want to make sure that you're connected with students in your exploration, you're connected with universities in your exploration, and you're enjoying the city in some type of way. One of the things we want to encourage you to do as you're preparing for this process is building for yourself a strong sense of being active and engaged in the community. Because one of our favorite quotes comes from the New York University admissions team. And it's really about the idea that every applicant is reviewed carefully to really identify academic strength and potential for promise and really kind of fully utilizing their special offerings of their university. But important thing that you must remember is that every applicant needs to have extracurricular activities. Every applicant needs to demonstrate that they've been engaged in serving their community. And that's in addition to being a sound academic student. It's not enough to have the highest GPA. A lot of the students that apply to Harvard or New York University or University of Southern California have high GPAs. It's how you're using the knowledge that you're gaining in your classrooms to engage your community, to really demonstrate what you're passionate about, or to really kind of build a sense of color and life in your own life so that you can bring that to others. So it's going to be really important. And that's something we do with our students. We really work with them to make sure that they're engaging in the community. Whether that's a day of service where we take our students to make thousands of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to help the homeless people in Washington, D.C. Or we work with an organization like Cultivate the City, where we're looking at food deserts within the Washington, D.C. area and going to plant gardens on school campuses to make sure that people have access to fresh vegetables. That's one of the ways that we want to make sure all of our students are really engaging in the community. Or if we're doing economic empowerment and we're having our students meet with the head of state of Egypt to talk about economic issues. Or if we're doing something like chamber choir, where our students are joining arts and dance and all of these different activities to make sure that they are having a well-rounded experience at the American Collegiate Program. We put all of these different pieces together to make sure that, one, again, you have the academic experience that you need. Two, you're getting the professional career and network development that you need, but also you're connecting and assessing with different schools, and you're getting the community engagement pieces that you need to make you a well-rounded candidate. With all of that said, what have been our results to date? We've had some really good success. Our students have gone into universities like Emory, which was ranked number 21 in national universities, schools like New York University, which are well-known and world-renowned, schools like University of Southern California, which have amazing film schools and amazing sports management programs. We've had some really great results with domestic schools or schools in the United States, but not just those schools. We've had really good success with students going to, for example, the European Union School of Business in Barcelona, or Utrecht University, or students who are at University of Melbourne or University of Southwest Sydney. So our students don't only apply to schools in America. A lot of our students are looking to stay either in Europe or go to places like China or go to places like Australia or Canada. And so we want you to know that through our program, you have the ability to not only look at domestic schools, but international schools, build the academic experience that you need, build your skills in a variety of areas, really get engaged in the community and learn what you're passionate about, and then translate that into your application so that you are finding a good university and a good fit for you. I think education has the power to transform the world. And being engaged in your education and being engaged to know what you're passionate about and know where you can take that and really impact the world is why I kind of do what I do. And so my encouragement to any student who's exploring the idea of education is, first, ask yourself the question, what question or what problem is my getting this education going to answer or solve? Because you have to be the answer for the future. And then two, what place is going to give me the most growth, the most knowledge, and the most experience that is going to allow me to answer that question or allow me to solve that problem? It's not just about going to this school because of the name. It's about going to this school because it's going to change me, it's going to challenge me, it's going to grow me to be able to be the person that can answer the questions of climate change, of political challenges, of making equity, making justice, or being a better person just for myself and also for my family. So really make your education be about the passion that you have inside of you. And if you haven't discovered it, allow education to help you explore your passion. And so we look forward to having you come and do that.